What's a fun little fact about yourself? I have mastered moving my eyes independently because when I was 6, a Discovery Channel video of a chameleon told me I couldn't do it. Apache helicopter pilots are trained to do this. Difficult, but doable. Not a skill I've been able to learn. Edit. Apparently when I originally learned this, I was either told incorrect information, or I misinterpreted when it meant to control each eye independently, taking an instrument readings with one eye from a helmet-mounted display, and looking at external conditions with the other. I can plug my nose with my lips. It's a watertight seal, so I use it when I swim, which means I look ridiculous while swimming. I can understand that. Just tried it and I'm sure I look like an idiot, but yeah, I get it. I have a tooth in the roof of my mouth. I had no idea it was there until I was 17 and my dentist was baffled. The refused to remove it because they say it's not hurting me. My mother had it too, she didn't remove it either. Braces were enough to bring it back to its correct position. Amazing, I'm getting the exact treatment now. In fact, I had a baby tooth and an adult tooth both come through from the center of the roof of my mouth. I'm 2 years into having braces and the tooth has moved almost all the way across my mouth. Still about a year to go, but I'm amazed it's even possible. According to people on here, I had the idea for Pokemon Go back when it was an April Fool's joke on Google Maps. My hair, eyebrows and beard are all naturally different colors. My hair is blonde, eyebrows dark brown and my beard ginger. Also, for anyone interested, my pubes are also ginger. Edit. Details. I can independently control my uvula. I must read this in a terrible way. Asterisk, so it's a girl house. I write in my journal every day since 2009. So I have an account of all my thoughts since the past 10 years. And I can see how I grew as a person since I was 15. Sometimes I cringe when I read something from back then. Those are treasures though. I can cry or throw up on command. Edited to say, or, instead of, and. Too many complaints about wording. I can also throw up on the spot. Haven't found a good use for it just yet. I know, whenever a douchebag grabs an acoustic guitar to play Wonderwall during a party, walk up to them, and puke at their shoes. It's like a defense mechanism. Like the ocular blood laser lizard. I have no sense of smell and never had. Whenever I tell this to people, their response falls into one of 3 categories. 1. That's so unfortunate. You don't know how good X smells. 2. You're so lucky. You don't have to know how X smells. 3. So if I fart in your face you won't notice. I've yet to receive a different response aside from those. Be surprised how many unrelated people told me N3. It's impressive lol. Feel for you, dude. Lost my sense of smell and taste from a concussion almost 6 months ago. I imagine it's easier to have never been able to smell than have the sense for 50+ years and then lose it. I lost my sense of smell from a concussion back in college. It took about 6 months for smells to start coming back. Even today, some things smell weird to me, as in, I don't process some things well. What is sharp and acrid to others is rather mellow to me. But overall, the sense is back. So take heart, you just have to keep smelling things till you notice something, then focus on it. I am one of a few thousand people who have ever actually walked around at the geographic North Pole. I have no pericardium, monsieur. When I was 6 months old, I had bad acid reflux, and DRs were concerned about damage to my esophagus. One CT scan later, my esophagus was okay, but they saw a hole in my pericardium, which is the sac of protective fat around the heart. Now this is a problem because as I would grow up, my heart could start to grow through the hole, and choke itself at some point, killing me out of the blue. So at 7 months old I had heart surgery. They went in all ready to patch the hole, only to find what had looked like a hole on the scan was actually the pericardium, monsieur. all of it that formed at least. I am one of 23 people at that time who had been found to have this while alive, and not post-mortem during autopsy. They removed the small piece that was all that had formed on gestation. So I have no pericardium, monsieur. It does not affect me negatively in any way, and I am immune to pericardial diseases. I tried to get into a military academy, so I had to see a cardiologist to get certification that it was a non-issue. He confirmed I could do anything I wanted, heart health-wise. DODMERB didn't change their decision though. TLDR, I don't have a sack of fat around my heart unlike most people. Edit. Frack, this blew up, thought it would get buried. First post to get more than 50 upvotes. And I only stopped being a lurker and make an account a few weeks ago. I'll try to answer the questions I can, but be aware I'm no medical professional. Damn it, Jim. I'm an engineer, not a doctor. Edit 2. Added note about DODMERB decision. They didn't change their mind. Still had gestational heart defect in their minds. I still have a large scar below my man boob and 3 small parallel lower down from endoscope. Exploratory, I was told. That's so interesting. Technically the fat is still there, but the serous fluid which is contained by the sac is gone. Which is pretty neat. No pericarditis for you. Also doesn't have a pericardium. She had a huge, very rare form of heart cancer. The tumor had invaded all along the upper septum, so they used the pericardium to rebuild the septum after removing the tumor. It was an 18-hour surgery and she was in the ICU for almost 2 months. But she's doing great today. I can touch my elbows together. The wrong oh my, so many images running through my head. Have you hands on your knees and push your elbows away from you. I can keep spinning my arms until my elbows touch. Also, with this ability, I can bear crawl like KF** seeking demon. I have central heterochromia, which means that both of my irises have 2 colors in form of concentric rings. While complete heterochromia is noticed by people, central confuses people. If I ask anyone if she knows what color my eyes are, nobody knows. Like their brain can't decide what it saw. Laughing face. Every time when I am asked what color my eyes are, I say, you tell me. I get blue, green, brown, hazel, or an occasional WTF. I don't have heterochromia of either type. I just have weird irises that seem to be mottled, and different light brings out different colors. All my siblings have blue eyes. My license says blue, but they look brown in the photo. I turned legal drinking age in the place where I lived at the time 3 times in my life. First when I was 16, then when I was 17 they increased the legal age to 18. So I turned legal drinking age again when I was 18. When I was 20 I moved to where legal drinking age is 21, so I had to wait a couple of months again. This happened to my brother in New York State. At one point, he was working for a beer distributor when he became unlegal again. Didn't they grandfather in anyone that was already legal? I can fit an entire double cheeseburger in my mouth. McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King tested. Edit. I'll post a video of this in a few hours, so maybe check back in if you really want to see. Lol. Edit. 2. I guarantee you that this is a fetish for someone out there. I really could start selling videos of this. I can draw the map of Middle-earth from memory alone. I also remember the opening lyrics of every single cartoon I watched as a child. Talk about selective memory. Oh my, that's I remember very little, never mind my childhood. I have a global high score in Temple Run 2 for about 15 minutes. I don't have the screenshot anymore unfortunately. Edit. Not a literal 15 minutes, but it wasn't very long. Speaking of game score facts, I watched 2 of my friends tie in Guitar Hero. Exact same score, around 65k. Had a pic on my old phone but it doesn't turn on or charge anymore. Speaking of game score facts, I think I still have the first place in the first level in Poly Bridge. I tied on the world record of the smallest paper ship ever folded. In 1992 my ship was 2 millimeters in length. Also I folded a paper plane with a spout width of 2 monsieur. Edit. Wow, thanks. Never thought this one to get such an attention. I'm very sad to tell that it was basically impossible for me to photograph them when I was 11. Makes me ever sadder as to think how easy it would be nowadays. Following happened to them, I put them in a small glass tube and showed around along with a loupe. People loved them, monsieur. Then I forgot it for a few years, and when I tried to have a look at them again, they simply disappeared. See, my theory is that since I didn't use gloves, sweat and acids decomposed them over time. I was heartbroken to say the least. I still love viewing small things though. Like a 3 cm Bachata star, 1/24 scale ukulele and stuff. Another pic of unfinished ones, and thanks for the silver smiley face. Thanks so much, all you made my day. How fucking tiny are your hands? Op is really an ant. I have my mother also experiences it, and there have been studies done that do suggest it's genetic. I cannot even comprehend that, probably exactly like you probably cannot imagine what it must be like for people who do not have it. That is really fascinating. Yeah, I really can't. Funny enough, it wasn't until a few years ago that I even realized it was an abnormal experience. It's always been a part of my reality, so I never questioned it. One day I was talking with my friend about remembering dates, and referenced my mental map. He was confused and asked me to clarify. And I said something along the lines of, yeah, you know, how you see your calendar and stuff. Is yours different than mine? Where is your Wednesday? And my friend was just like, I have absolutely no idea what TF you're talking about. I was so confused and thought something was weird with him. Haha, started googling and discovered time-space synesthesia was a thing, which led to having a conversation about it with my mom and discovering she has it too. We experience our maps differently, but it functions the same as far as how we access memories. I intellectually understand that for everyone else dates, time, etc. is just a concept. But I can't imagine what it is like to not feel it in your body or see it in your mind.